So yes, it's not just do you know the knowledge, but are you capable of applying the knowledge when it is necessary? You study survival skills to be able to use them in the case of survival. So if you learn all of the basics of, you know, camping or survival skills, but then in real time you need to make a fire and you don't even recall what you learned, you aren't able to use it in that situation, then what was the point of learning to do it if you weren't going to use it when it was necessary? So that's the point, you know, before you needed to make a fire, that information that you learned, no, it was not relevant. But had you been able to pull that information that wasn't necessary for a period of time, when you're able to pull it out in the moment that it's necessary, it's going to be very useful to have had that information sitting in your back pocket that you can pull out whenever, because you mastered it when you actually did it properly. I think of it in terms of breathing, like breathing, which again, I started this yesterday, I think it was, of just wondering why we never have a breathing class. Nobody's ever taught us how to actually breathe. Nobody has ever actually taught us how to breathe for real. We just started doing it one day when we were babies, and we just kept going till we were grown-ups. Then we learned specialized breathing like CPR, first aid, or if you're like maybe singing or speaking, because that has to do with control of the breath and the airways and the vocal cords, which is like a vibration, but it's also deeply connected. Like, because it's like, are we breathing while we're talking? Maybe, I don't know. But so that's what I'm saying. It's just like those little details. So we just never were formally taught, like, this is just for basic everyday breathing, we don't really learn that. Therapy has breathing technique like the box breathing method, or the count to 10 before you explode. So there are those techniques for breathe, right? Then you have like spirituality, like there's meditative breathing. And we're just kind of being told like that's just what you have to do. We assume you're not supposed to not. But we never got like what's the basic